This is America, ladies and gentlemen.
So hopefully we all know that there is an ongoing migrant crisis at the US southern border. So recently, a few friends and I decided to go visit the southern border and report on our findings. Now, a lot happened during this trip, so I've decided to actually separate this into two different videos. Today, I'll be speaking about a migrant resource center that we visited in San Antonio, what we saw there, and one of the migrants that I interviewed, as well as the activity that I witnessed down on the southern border myself. The other thing that happened while I was down there, which is the other video I'd like to make on this subject, is that me and my friends were detained by Border Patrol, not at the actual US-Mexico border, but within the interior of the United States. So if you think that would be an interesting video and you'd like to see it, leave a comment down below and hit the like button on this video, because that way we get things into the algorithm so you can actually see the videos when they pop up, and it also helps grow the channel as well, and it's very much appreciated. But before we get into the video, I'd like to thank today's video sponsor. Today's video sponsor is Fume. Whether we like it or not, we all have some bad habits. We all gaslight ourselves and say we don't have to do it or we don't need it.
I don't need it. I don't need it.
But at the end of the day, actions speak louder than words. But not all habits have to be bad. Some of them can be good, but some of them can also just be a habit. That's where Fume comes in. You see, Fume doesn't have any electronics. Instead of harmful addictive chemicals and additives, Fume produces flavored air. You can see taking it apart that it actually has these flavored cores in there. You can adjust the airflow on the back of it as such. And then much like former presidents, you do indeed inhale. And it's actually quite pleasant. Not to mention, it also just kind of feels nice in the hands to kind of fidget with and play with. You can see it's got a little magnet here so it snaps back. Fume has also released new cores: orange vanilla, raspberry lemon, and sparkling grapefruit. And if we're gonna be honest, stopping a bad habit is hard. It's something we all put off. But switching to Fume is easy. So head to tryfume.com/nuancebro and use code nuancebro at checkout for 10% off your order. Again, that's tryfum.com/nuancebro and use code nuancebro at checkout to save 10% off your order today. So like I said, my friends and I had plans to go visit the southern border. I was joined on this adventure by Mr. Tony Ortiz of Current Revolt, the Texas paper of record, and Ashley St. Clair of the Babylon Bee. Here you can see all of us enjoying some gas station Ethiopian food. So our first stop was in San Antonio, where we visited the Migrant Resource Center. As you can see in this article from the San Antonio Report, San Antonio gets $24.5 million in FEMA funding to continue aiding migrants through 2025. This was published on August 18th, 2023. And here we can see some of the food that is handed out to these migrants. The city of San Antonio on Thursday accepted its portion of $24.5 million from the Federal Emergency Management Agency for its work with local nonprofits to continue aiding migrants traveling to and through San Antonio until September 2025. Of the funding, the city of San Antonio will accept around $13 million. Catholic Charities will get around $5.7 million. And the United Way of San Antonio, which administers the FEMA emergency and shelter funding to local nonprofits, gets $5.8 million. The federal allocation reimburses salaries, transportation costs, and the lease to operate San Antonio's Migrant Resource Center along San Pedro Avenue, and will also fund other forms of migrant aid like meals, hotels, and toiletries until September 30th, 2025. So upon arriving, this is what we saw initially. We saw a bunch of people sort of loitering outside, some of them wearing COVID masks for some reason, people all over the sidewalk, and of course, a lot of people in the Migrant Center complex itself.
So we're here at the Migrant Resource Center here in San Antonio. They bring illegal immigrants from the border here to process them, and then they basically ship them back out onto the streets. So behind me, we can see a bunch of them lined up at the Resource Center. And even outside of here, we can see a bunch of people just sort of loitering around, a lot of them wearing COVID masks for some reason. It's very interesting.
Now, quick point of clarification. When I said processing, yes and no. The actual processing, from my understanding, when it comes to receiving the information of these migrants and then giving them the court date and everything that they have to appear for their asylum hearing, that happens before they're sent to the Migrant Resource Center. And then at the Migrant Resource Center, they are given, resources, whether that's food, shelter, transportation, the ability to make phone calls or send emails to potential sponsors within the States or to family back home. But as you're going to see in a moment in the interview that I did with one of the migrants who was at this facility, the shelter and food and even transportation aspect are not as solid as you might think.
Good, just we're recording.
He comes from Brazil.
Obrigado.
Muito obrigado.
Obrigado. Good to meet you. Yeah, it's recording. Did you see the red dot flashing? Okay. So what's going on here? Where are we today? What's going on?
No, I'm just looking at the people, you know, like what they went through, going through Mexico and stuff, you know. I'm going to give them some clothes that I have. Yeah, because they are hungry. They haven't eaten in 2 days. I told them, go to McDonald's, you know, they should help them to eat because they haven't eaten. And the ladies that they went to Dollar Tree to buy food. And you see they coming from Dollar Tree. You know, they sell little things, you know, but it's not gonna fill their stomach.
And you're coming here as an American to help?
No, I was born in
migrants?
Mexico,
Okay.
but I've been here since I was little.
And you're American citizen, or?
No, I still have my green card.
Okay.
But I went through this a long time ago. I wonder if things have changed, but they haven't changed.
You talked about the length of stay, like how long people are staying here.
Yeah. They said they stay only 3 days, and like this guy, he's got a ticket already, but he don't have a place to go.
What do you mean ticket? What do you mean?
For an airplane.
To go where?
He don't have like no relatives to accept him.
But where's he like the ticket goes where? Why where is he going and why?
Anywhere.
They gave him a ticket to go anywhere in America?
Yeah, look. You still got the ticket, boss. ¿Tienes el ticket?
You have a
Del avión.
ticket avión?
No.
Not
No.
yet.
No. What's this?
Este es documento.
Document. I see the.
Este es documento.
So we have a notice to appear here, and it says, he's born 1995, and where's the date to appear? Oh, it says March 8th, 2024 at 1 p.m. Acting border agent in charge. And it's going to be in Phoenix, Arizona. So we're in San Antonio, Texas. And so, well, he speaks Portuguese. I don't know. So this date, March 8th, 2024, Arizona. Are you?
Sí.
You're going to go there?
Arizona.
Or you're going to go to this?
¿Vas a ir para Arizona?
Sí.
You're going to go here or no?
No. ¿Qué dice?
Que si vas a ir.
Sí, Arizona, pero yo no tengo pasaje para ir para allá.
Oh, he don't have the money.
So he's not going to go to this court appearance, is what he's saying.
No vas a ir a
So
esa corte.
to Arizona, he's not going to go.
Sí, pero este es el año que viene.
Oh, next year.
Tengo que ir para Arizona, primero viajar para Arizona, allá, ¿me entiendes? Allá donde voy a tener esta corte.
Oh, he's got to travel to Arizona.
But is he going to go? It says next year. He's going to go or he's not going to go?
¿Vas a ir? You gonna go?
Sí,
¿Vas a ir?
sí.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna
Okay.
go.
Okay.
Pero sin plata, ¿cómo
But
voy?
he don't have the
No tengo
money.
ni para comer, dile. No tengo ni para comer.
He don't
Ni
have
para
money to eat.
3 días sin comer.
3 days without eating, without food.
Okay.
Empty stomach.
Thank you. Gracias.
An empty stomach. They should have someone to come and feed him.
They don't. Do they give food? They give food here.
Yeah, they
or-
give you a little bit of food, no, poquita comida.
Sí, no, un ponqué, lo que nos dieron, un poncito, ¿cómo te digo?
Pancake,
Un pancito, un panque eso, un panque eso.
Can you ask him what is he going to do for food?
¿Y qué va a hacer para comida? Para comer.
No, si no tengo, ¿cómo voy a hacer? No tengo
You're
que...
gonna stay hungry.
Oh man, these are desperate times. It's
Yes,
I don't, it's when
He said-
if people don't have options to eat,
He's
what do
been
they typically do?
suffering- He's been suffering since he crossed the border from Guatemala to Chiapas.
Can you ask why did he come here?
Que dice que por qué te
No, yo soy de Venezuela.
from Venezuela, but he used to live in Brazil.
Oh, okay, but why is he coming
¿Y
here?
por qué te viniste?
No, Venezuela ya no sirve, el gobierno...
Venezuela is no good, the government is no good.
So it's like for jobs, economic opportunity.
En la economía y los trabajos.
No, la economía no sirve, el país no sirve ya, la economía, el gobierno...
Here.
Yeah,
So you came here for trabajo?
¿Quieres trabajar?
Sí, sí.
Work.
Okay.
I told them to...
De eso venimos a trabajar, venimos acá a progresar, a trabajar. No, aquí no nos podemos quedar porque no tenemos registro.
¿Cuánto tiempo te dejan quedarte aquí?
¿A dónde? ¿Aquí en Estados Unidos?
No, no, en esta cosa.
No, yo me salí de ahí, yo no estoy ahí.
¿Cuánto te dan para estarte aquí? How long?
¿Cuántos días?
Sí.
No sé, los días que uno quiera quedarse normal.
Oh, he wants to stay here normally. I mean, so, entonces te puedes quedar aquí ahí todos los días.
No, ahí no, para allá afuera. Afuera de aquí. Aquí.
So he sleeps out here,
¿Te
or
duermes aquí afuera?
Ahí, allá afuera.
Like, he's here, he sleeps here.
how long has he been sleeping outside?
¿Cuánto
over here?
tiempo?
2 días.
2 days.
2 days.
And
Okay.
out here. With mosquitoes, vea, picándote.
Does he know where is he? One week from now.
Without taking a bed.
Sin bañarse, sin comer, sin nada.
Without taking a bed. With no empty stomach.
So 1 week from now, where is he gonna be?
Okay, de una semana aquí, ¿para qué vas a hacer?
No sé.
You don't know.
Welcome to San Antonio.
So as you could see in that video, the earlier gentleman that I spoke to claims to be a green card holder, has been here for, I believe, 30 years or so. And he was kind enough to act as a translator just by chance. He was just hanging out there and he was able to translate for me. And the younger man that we interviewed claimed originally to be from Brazil, which I guess he was from Brazil, but originally from Venezuela. So he went from Venezuela to Brazil, and then now from Brazil to the United States. But this is what we noticed, whether we were at the Migrant Resource Center in San Antonio or down at the southern border. It seemed like the vast majority, but at the very least, the plurality of migrants were claiming that they were from Venezuela. If we actually go to the City of San Antonio Migrant Dashboard website, we can scroll down and we see Migrant Resource Center, country of origin for migrants registered at the Migrant Resource Center in San Antonio since July of 2022. So some of this data may have changed later on now that we're in late 2023. But as you can see here, in the pie chart, about 28% of the migrants are from Venezuela. So this is the plurality of the migrants that are showing up. The next most common is migrants from Cuba. And I don't know if you guys are geography nerds, but Cuba is not attached to the United States. It's an island. It's a lot closer to Florida than it is to San Antonio, I can tell you that. The next most common is Nicaragua at 15%, and then Haiti, once again, if you're not a geography buff here, Haiti is also not attached to the mainland of North America or South America. It is an island that is attached to, right next to the Dominican Republic, same island. And I have to say, this is interesting data because for a while, you were hearing about Honduras, Nicaragua, and El Salvador, where a lot of these migrants were coming from. And while you still do have Honduras at 7.59% and Ecuador at 5.58%, look at El Salvador because it's not even listed here on the left side. But if we go to this pie chart, this little sliver here, El Salvador, 0.77%. They have 1,088 migrants from El Salvador. Keep in mind that thousands of migrants come across the southern border illegally every single day, but here they're saying 1,088 migrants from El Salvador at this Migrant Resource Center in San Antonio since July of 2022, so well over a year ago. And I think that's a testament to the policies of their president, Nayib Bukele, who's done an excellent job bringing down the homicide rates there, but that'll probably be a video for another time. Anyways, here we can also see shelter. So we can see by day, for example, on September 1st, 2023 at the Migrant Resource Center, they had 584 people sheltered of a total of 1,056. The others were sheltered at San Antonio Airport. So these are the two primary shelter locations locations for these migrants is San Antonio Airport and the Migrant Resource Center. But remember to keep in mind that interview we had with the young man who told us about his experience at this Migrant Resource Center. They only house you for 2 or 3 days, and then they basically kick you out and leave you to fend for yourself because they simply don't have the capacity to let you stay there longer than that because they have to accommodate new people. So like the young man in the video, a lot of them just sleep outside on the street. And again, while most were Venezuelans in our experience at these locations, we did, for example, meet a mother and son from Ecuador, and I did happen to catch on film some darker skinned individuals who I would reasonably assume might be from Haiti. So this brings us to our trip down to the actual border. So the first thing we came upon when we arrived at the border in Eagle Pass were a bunch of migrants gathered underneath the bridge where Border Patrol had gathered them, and it appeared that they were processing them.
All right, so we're here down in Eagle Pass, Texas. We have a bunch of migrants here behind me. It looks like they're being processed and then potentially put on these buses to be shipped out. Hopefully you can get a good view of them over here. And you can see the people in green over here. This is the Border Patrol, and it looks like they're processing the migrants. So we have about, I want to say like 3, 4, 5, like 6 Border Patrollers. So I'm seeing a few women and children, but it looks like it's mostly males here.
And just because the exposure wasn't as good in the other shot, here's a better shot of the migrants so you can see what they look like. And then right there we saw the barbed wire that everybody's been posting videos about.
All right, so we're here at the actual place where we have the barbed wire set up by the Texas National Guard, but then we see the Border Patrol keeps cutting it when the migrants eventually make it across. So this is where we're at. We're probably gonna see a few crossings here today, but you can see all the barbed wire. You can see the Humvee over there. You can see the bridge with the railway car. We're down here in Eagle Pass. Oh, I see some migrants right there, actually. Hold on, are you recording still? Right? You can see them clearly? All right, so we can actually see some migrants crossing in here right now. Let's get over. So as you can see, we have some migrants here on the other side of the barbed wire. It looks like they're just waiting for now. I guess they're waiting for Border Patrol to potentially come by and assist them or cut the wire, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So basically, as soon as we went to the barbed wire, we immediately saw migrants in the water trying to get across. We continued to move down along the barbed wire, and then I saw a bunch of trash and clothes littered everywhere.
So as you can see here, we have a bunch of clothes littered all over the place from migrants who have crossed. It looks like they've put up some fresh new barbed wire, but clothes laid all over the place here as migrants cross. In fact, I can see some more crossing right over here. If you want to come over here, we can see some migrants right down here in the water crossing through. And we can see some Texas National Guard over here with their rifles.
So as we continued moving down the barbed wire, we would occasionally see these boats passing by that patrol the Rio Grande. And then we came upon another trash pile, except this time they had a sign.
All right, so we're over here. There's an unclaimed property sign, and we see all this litter over here. So you can see it all stuck in the barbed wire over here, all on the floor. You can actually see here that there are condoms still in the wrapper laid down here. I picked this up. There's some medication, prednisona. I believe this is for, it's like an anti-inflammatory medication. And I also have some Mexican currency, so about 10 pesos or so that I found here on the ground. Oh, let's hold on, let's get this too, this guy. So we got a man crossing. Oh, get me in the shot if you can too. So we got a man crossing right now across the Rio Grande. It looks like he's carrying a cooler on his shoulder, and it's just him by himself crossing right now. It's very interesting. We have some other people all the way across there on the other side. Looks like they're waiting to cross, but this man for now is crossing by himself. Cool. Oh, hold on, we got some more migrants here. Let's get this. Looks like we have some migrants here crossing. We see some young children, some women. They're waving over to us, splashing each other, the kids. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, and we see another group actually meeting up with them on this side, if you can see that. So there's a huge group on the other side just meeting up with these guys, and now they're directing them to turn around and continue that way. Wow, there's a big line of them. I gotta estimate this looks to be like close to a group of about 50, 60 people or so.
So at this point, we must have been at the border for maybe 20 minutes or so. And already we're seeing this big group of migrants. And again, just after we've been there for 20 minutes, this is what happened.
So that big group we just saw, they're crossing up here and they're coming up, they're patting clothes on top of the barbed wire so that that way they can crawl across over it.
Very chaotic over here.
How's the exposure?
As you
Exposure good?
can see, these are mostly young men crossing over here, throwing things over the wire so that they don't get cut. And we can see them congregating. So we're gonna.
Looks like they have a really young child on the shoulders here. We have
a nation without borders.
we have the Texas National Guard here in the back, awaiting the arrival of these migrants. And we have more of them coming right behind us, actually. So we got these Texas National Guard.
Flowing into our country because guess what? Biden is cutting the wire for them. Border Patrol is cutting the wire for them. Texas National
And they're currently crossing over right now.
So let's watch this, baby. This is insane.
This is America, ladies and gentlemen.
La muleta. Pasen, rápido. Los niños. Dale. Rápido, mano, rápido.
As you guys can see, these migrants are coming across.
Can you record for me?
Just hit the red button. Okay, as you can see, we're seeing an active crossing. They put over blankets, towels, shirts, fabric to cross over, and they're helping each other pull over. This is insane. It's actively happening. Plenty of children, babies, and they're just super excited, celebrating to cross over. You've got DPS that comes over. Absolutely nothing under control. Total disaster. People go through the process, pay tens of thousands of dollars to come in here legally. This is the other option.
Mango, pásame el bolso. Ven. ¿Hacia dónde nos dirigimos, mi jefe? ¿Para dónde nos podemos ir? Vamos, niño, dale, pásala, rapidito, vamos. Dale, mamá. Espérate allá, póngate en línea con ellos. Dale, dale. Ay, gracias, mi amor. Ven, cruza, mamá, dale.
Luis, sube, Luis. Pasa, pasen a los niños. Ya va, mano, me para el
You
grupo.
see a crying child over here.
Ya. Vamos, señor, vamos.
Quedan niños de abajo, quedan niños.
No, que pregunta para ver.
Mira, quedan niños. Los niños. Qué rápido, mi hermano, vale.
Dale la mano.
La que se prendió fue la de...
Muchacho.
Are you recording?
Yeah, can you record?
So I think Cooler Guy, I just saw him actually exchange money with another man. I think he might be selling drinks out in the river. Because he's not coming up. Everybody else came up. He's staying in the river. So I think maybe he was trying to sell drinks to them while he's in the river.
Potentially part of the end is very long. Some of them came
And as you can see this line, here now of the migrants. And they are now walking towards Border Patrol so that they can be processed. So you can see now the migrants are being, yeah, stay behind. So the migrants are being sent through right now to be processed by Border Patrol. As you can see, if you want to pan the camera that way, they're going underneath the bridge where they're going to be processed. And it's a whole group of them that we just saw crawl over the barbed wire. And this is happening on a regular basis every single day here in Eagle Pass, Texas.
So yeah, that was a pretty wild scene to be a part of. I mean, you saw men, women, children, though it was primarily males. And much like the country of origins we discussed earlier for that San Antonio Migrant Resource Facility, it seems to kind of match up what we were talking about. I mean, you did see people, who were primarily Latin American in appearance, but you also saw a few black people in there who are presumably from Haiti or somewhere. Now, the other interesting thing that happened while we were down there is that Elon Musk, the founder of SpaceX, Tesla, the Boring Company, now the owner of X.com, formerly known as Twitter, he decided to go to Eagle Pass around the same time we did. So he was there. He was meeting with local leaders in the area, including Congressman Tony Gonzalez. Congressman Gonzalez represents the 23rd Congressional District in the state of Texas. From my understanding, it may be the widest congressional district in the state of Texas, and it's also one of the least densely populated congressional districts in the country. It runs all the way from West San Antonio all the way to El Paso, encompassing most of the Texas border with Mexico. Now, I understand he's the representative for the area, so Elon Musk is meeting with him and he was explaining things to Elon, but Representative Gonzalez is not my favorite congressman. In fact, while he was talking to Elon about all the troubles at the border and all the problems and how it's open and how this is terrible, Congressman Gonzalez has actually taken actions against securing the border. When Texas Congressman Chip Roy decided to introduce an act that would help curb the flow of illegal immigrants into this country, Representative Gonzalez called it unchristian. Representative Gonzalez also supported Biden's gun control bill, so he's not my favorite person out there, and I'm hoping he gets primaried. We have actually friend of the channel, Brandon Herrera, running against him in the Republican primary, so hopefully we see a nice outcome there where we can get a rhino unseated. But anyways, you had the mayor of Eagle Pass there with Elon. You had the sheriffs of various counties there. Elon got to see the migrant crisis up close and personal. Here you can see him in a picture with Representative Gonzalez where there's a bunch of migrants sitting in front of them underneath the bridge. And you can actually see in the picture Representative Gonzalez reported that record 260,000 plus illegal entries in the US during September. This border crisis is unsustainable. We need sensible solutions now. And we can see here Elon Musk quote tweeting him saying US Border Patrol just reported the highest number of recorded illegal immigrants in history at over 260,000 this month. The full number, including unrecorded, may be over 500,000 per month, which is the population of Wyoming. And if we go to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection website, we can see Southwest land border encounters. And here we can see the various numbers by month, and they go by fiscal years here, which end in September. And we can see the highest number in a given month, the last record-breaking number, was fiscal year 2023, December, at over 252,000. So it appears, based on Representative Gonzalez's tweet here, that September is slated to have over 260,000, which is a new record in any given month, which means that this fiscal year 2023 could be another record-breaking year for illegal migrant encounters. And I have to say, what really bothers me is that, we saw all this happening down at the southern border, and then me and my friends are detained by Border Patrol in the interior of the country. This is after we left the southern border. We get detained at an immigration inspection checkpoint. And like I said earlier, I'm going to make a video about this, going into more detail. You can see the video and everything like that. But you see what's happening at the southern border, where Border Patrol is cutting the wire and letting these migrants in, and then processing them, giving them documents saying, here's a court appearance, all this, all that. And they're basically legally allowed to be in the country. They get sent up to that migrant resource facility up in San Antonio, given food, shelter, transportation, phone calls, internet, all that stuff. But meanwhile, at these immigration checkpoints, where they're supposedly supposed to be checking for illegal immigrants that they're allowing into the country, they're stopping U.S. citizens like me and my friends. So it doesn't make sense. We live in bizarro world. Again, leave a like if you enjoyed this video and you want to see that next video about my encounter being detained by Border Patrol, because it's really crazy. It's really crazy, the country that we're living in, how it seems like the things that should be enforced, the laws that should be enforced are not, and then the laws that were seemingly never enforced in the past are now applied very selectively for political purposes against certain people. And I don't think that's a good direction. I don't think that's a good direction for the country. I don't think a civilization can thrive and survive in an environment like that. But anyways, guys, that's the end of the video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Did you like this video? Are you looking forward to the next video about the detainment? Let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Social media links are in the description box below, as well as merch. Support us at nuancebro.com/join and support today's video sponsor. And I'll see you next time, bro.